Hello everyone, welcome to Apti Plus Academy for Civil Services. It's a video on daily news and editorial analysis, which I'll be covering from the Hindu and Indian Express, the important news and editorial that would be relevant for the preparation of civil services examination will be discussed in this session. Let's get started with the news topic list. Today is 15th of September. The first news that I'll be discussing is about why Saudi Arabia matters and how important is to have established relationship between India and Saudi Arabia. Second, about Supreme Court that has been joined with the National Judicial Data Grid, something very important and significant for all the judicial fraternity people. Third is about the PMMSY, that is Pradhan Mantri Matsya Sampada Yojana, something again very important that has come up with revamped and even help to fill the gap in the fisheries sector. Other than this, we'll see the rubber board to increase the area under rubber in the Northeastern states. And at the end, there will be editorial, which talks about coming the way with the postman knocks. So this is all about the new postport, the part of the Post Office Bill 2023, which has been proposed by the Union government. So ये सारी चीजें हैं that will help you to get an idea about the things. And this particular bill, which was actually tabled in 2023, has come up with a lot more other reforms. We'll see the details about that as well. And before I begin this session, if you are new to our channel, do not forget to subscribe Apti Plus Academy for Civil Services on YouTube. If you like this video, if you find this video informative and helpful, do hit that like button. Now starting the session, that is the importance of Saudi Arabia to India, something important for General Studies paper 2. That is the effect of policies and politics of developed and developing countries on India's interest and India's diaspora. So before I start, just to give you the brief about India and Saudi Arabia relationship, we have a cordial and friendly relationship reflecting the centuries-old economic ties between the two countries. So India and Saudi Arabia has having a cordial relationship, and this has continued for a good number of years. I mean, this started in 1947 itself, right? 1947 में high level meetings start हुई थी between both countries, and it has been further improving a lot, right? So recent में Prime Minister has actually visited Riyadh में visit की थी उन्होंने, and in 2016 this is what I was talking about. So there was a part of corporations that was there. This also include political, economic, security and defense issues related to between India and Saudi Arabia. So this will be something very important and significant for the countries. Now apart from this, India Middle East Europe Economic Corridor, जो कि recently Prime Minister ने announce किया था, this was during the G20 summit which took place in India. I mean, India is the current chair for G20. And this will continue till November 2023, although Brazil is having the part of the presidency for 2024. तो ये सारी basics information आपको पता होनी चाहिए. Now the project include India, United Arab Emirates, Saudi Arabia and European Union, France, Italy, Germany and United States, right? So this corridor will have a new directions जहाँ पे sustainable development of entire world की बात की गई है. दो separate corridor बनाने की बात की गई है. The first is Eastern Corridor, another is the Northern Corridor. So for Eastern, it will connect West Asia and Middle East, and the Northern Corridor will connect the West Asia, Middle East to Europe. So these are the connections that will be established. Now, India-Saudi Arabia Strategic Partnership Council की अगर बात करें, this is specifically in context between India and Saudi Arabia relationship. So I'll be addressing this by essay. तो ये दोनों countries के बीच में specifically है. These two sides have signed 8 agreement sign की गई है, right? And these agreement were there including the part of upgrading the hydrocarbon energy, partnership in comprehensive and renewable energy, petroleum and strategic reserve, creating a joint task force with 100 billion in Saudi Arabia investment. उसके अलावा जो possible trade है local currencies को, see if you trade in local currencies, it help. अगर local currencies में की जाती हैं तो काफ़ी ज़्यादा local valuations बढ़ती हैं. Even it help in part of negotiation for the free trade agreement. If you look at the part, India and Saudi Arabia is always looking for the free trade agreement. और गल्फ कॉपरेशंस काउंसिल ने भी इस तरह के इश्यूज में या इस तरह के जो बात करें ट्रेडिंग के लोकल करेंसीज को भी प्रमोट करने की बात की. Now, pillars of a relationship. What are the important things that will be taken into consideration? So first is economic ties. दोनों countries के बीच में, I'm specifically talking about India and Saudi Arabia. दोनों countries के बीच में they are the second largest trading partner and Saudi Arabia is India's fourth largest trading partner. Bilateral trade values की अगर बात करें, this is around 52.7. तो ये values हैं. If you are a student from PSIR, अगर आपकी PSIR optional है तो आपको ये सारे कुछ basics data पता होने चाहिए. This is important for your mains exam, right? Now, trade Saudi Arabia has accounted for 4.53 in the total value of financial year. Among the major proposed investment was 44 billion with the West Coast Refinery petroleum products in Maharashtra. So this is how the things will actually work, and it will work in a progressive manner. Energy corporations की अगर बात करें, सऊदी अरेबिया हमारे लिए बहुत ही important key partners है इंडिया के energy security के लिए. When we specifically talk about energy security, so here, the Saudi Arabia play a very important role. It was the third largest crude oil petroleum product sources, and India has imported 39.5 million metric ton of crude oil, amounting for 16.7 of India's total crude oil import. And India's LPG exports in Saudi Arabia stood to 7.85 million metric ton. This is 11.2% of the total petroleum export. जो total petroleum export की जाती है उसमें 11.2% कंट्रीब्यूशन आप बोल सकते हैं इंडिया और सऊदी अरेबिया के बीच में. डिफेंस पार्टनरशिप्स की अगर बात करें, द डिफेंस पार्टनरशिप हैज विटनेस एक्स्ट्रा पोटेंशियल ग्रोथ और ट्रिमेंडस ग्रोथ देखी गई है इन द रीसेंट टाइम. आर्मी चीफ की भी विजिट हुई थी सऊदी अरेबिया में इन दिसंबर 2020. सो दिस वाज अ पार्ट ऑफ डिफेंस एंगेजमेंट. देयर आर मिलिट्री एक्सरसाइज विच इज ऑल्सो टेकिंग प्लेस. इफ यू नो एनी मिलिट्री एक्सरसाइज, आप उसके नाम जरूर मेंशन करें इन द कमेंट सेक्शन. डू पार्टिसिपेट एंड राइट दैट इन द कमेंट सेक्शन डाउन बिलो. Extensive naval cooperations between India and Saudi Arabia, 2 editions for the biennial naval exercise and Ali Muhammad Hind and have been concluded so far. Both sides have been cooperating in terms of defense industries and capacity building. Now, India's diaspora की अगर बात करें, India community and kingdom have more 2.4 billion strong, widely respected contributions, and development of Saudi Arabia has seen as a living bridge between the two countries. और joint statements की अगर बात करें, India's side has thanked Saudi Arabia for their excellent support in terms of diaspora, supporting the part of the people who were actually evacuated from the Sudan. Jeddah में ऑपरेशन कावेरी की गई थी, facilitating Indian Hajj and Urma privilege. तो ये कुछ ऐसे सपोर्ट्स हैं जो इंडिया ने भी किए हैं उस कंट्रीज के लिए. एंड डेफिनेटली इन टर्म्स ऑफ रिलेशनशिप, अगर बायलैटरल रिलेशनशिप की बात करें, इवन इन जनरल बोथ कंट्रीज शेयर अ गुड एंड हेल्दी रिलेशनशिप. नाउ मूविंग अहेड, सुप्रीम कोर्ट डेटा ऑन बोर्ड विद द नेशनल जुडिशियल डेटा ग्रिड पोर्टल. अगेन समथिंग वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. इफ यू सी द पार्ट ऑफ नेशनल जुडिशियल ग्रिड पोर्टल, दिस विल बी स्पेसिफिकली इंपॉर्टेंट फॉर प्रीलिम्स एग्जामिनेशन. आपसे डायरेक्ट 2 स्टेटमेंट क्वेश्चन पूछे जा सकते हैं प्रीलिम्स एग्जामिनेशन में. एंड इन मेंस दे कैन बी आस्क्ड अबाउट द एडवांटेजेस, राइट? तो एडवांटेजेस भी आपको पता होना चाहिए. व्हाट आर द पॉजिटिव साइड्स, व्हाट आर द नेगेटिव साइड्स, यू मस्ट नो, राइट? So this is something important for general studies paper 2, that is structure, organization, functions of executive and judiciary. The Chief Justice of India has recently announced that the Supreme Court is on board with the National Judicial Data Grid Portal, and the Chief Justice of India has said that this will be something that will be calling with the overall revamped with the process and even the transparency, accountability with the platform in tracking the pendency cases which is there, right? तो ये पोर्टल डेडिकेटली होगी ताकि ट्रैकिंग सिस्टम को इम्प्रूव किया जा सके. नाउ नेशनल जुडिशियल डेटा ग्रिड की अगर बात करें, ये एक इनिशिएटिव है बाय इंडिया दैट एम्स टू प्रोवाइड ट्रांसपेरेंट एफिशिएंट information about the country judicial system, the lower court, the high court, even the high court, the lower court and the Supreme Court, all data will be integrated at single place. It was launched by the Supreme Court in 2012 with the goal to improve the efficiency and transparency in the Indian judiciary. And the National Judicial Data Grid is a repository of the data that is related to the cases instituted और कितने केसेस डिस्पोज हुए हैं, वो सारी चीज़ों की डिटेल्स होती है. आई विल शो यू द पोर्टल स्क्रीनशॉट. सो बिफोर दैट, जस्ट टू टेल यू द की फीचर्स एंड ऑब्जेक्टिव, राइट? सो की फीचर्स की अगर बात करें नेशनल जुडिशियल ग्रिड की, फर्स्ट ये ट्रांसपेरेंसी प्रमोट करेगी. ट्रांसपेरेंसी मीन्स दैट एक ट्रांसपेरेंट एक्सेस ऑफ इंफॉर्मेशन होगी एट ऑल लेवल. So all level, I mean, suppose there is lower court, then we have high court, then we have Supreme Court. तो तीनों जुडिशरी के फंक्शंस में एक बहुत ही इंपॉर्टेंट रोल अदा करेगी। उसके अलावा efficiency will be promoted, improving the legal system by promoting uniform case management practices. Real-time updates will be available. This will have the case status. Suppose if any case is pending, you can know what is the current status. So status will be known easily with this part. And accountability will promote in judiciary, reduce the potential form of corruption which is there. Accessibility will allow lawyers, litigants, judges and other public to access the case related information easily, because this will be acting as a repository. Now this portal which has been there, ये e-court project के अंदर ये सारी चीजें की गई हैं. This is again very important specifically for prelims. आपसे पूछा जा सकता है कि जो नेशनल जुडिशियल ग्रिड बनाई गई है वो किस पर्टिकुलर इनिशिएटिव्स के अंदर काम हो रही है. तो e-court प्रोजेक्ट्स जो हैं उसके अंदर इट्स अ comprehensive repository of orders, judgment and the case that is from 18735. इतने जितने डिस्ट्रिक्ट्स और तालुकाज में कोर्ट्स होंगे, हाई कोर्ट्स हैं, उनके थ्रू सारे रिपोजिटरी को इकट्ठा किया गया. The data are continuously updated in a real-time manner by affiliating the part of district and talukas with the court, offering the judicial proceedings outcome across the country, and even जो computerized data हैं that will be coordinated in a single platform, providing it more, making it more accessible to the citizen. Now, how does the portal look like? So you can have a look at this portal. This is of the Supreme Court National Judicial Data Grid. So this is about details for the pending cases which is there, the pending criminal cases, the pending total cases, and these are the other details which was there, right? Even if you want to refer for the High Court, there is a separate portal which is there for High Court and Lower Court. आप उसको भी refer करके एक basic जानकारी ले सकते हैं. Now moving ahead, Pradhan Mantri Matsya Sampada Yojana, bridging gap in the fisheries sector, something important for General Studies paper 2. That is the government policies and intervention for the development of various sectors and issues arising from a design and implementations. So if you look at the part, 2020 में ही ये फिशरी सेक्टर्स में बहुत ही इंपॉर्टेंट रिफॉर्म के लिए गवर्नमेंट ने इंपॉर्टेंट सारे इनिशिएटिव्स लिए थे. उसमें एक और इंपॉर्टेंट इनिशिएटिव्स है, दैट इज प्रधानमंत्री मत्स्य संपदा योजना, लॉन्च्ड इन वे बैक इन 2020, एंड दिस इज समथिंग कमिटेड टू इन्वेस्ट इन द पार्ट ऑफ फिशरी सेक्टर. India is now counted among the world top 3 countries in fish in the aqua productions. अगर बात करें ओवरऑल प्रोडक्शंस में इंडिया की रैंकिंग पहले से काफ़ी ज़्यादा इम्प्रूव हुई है. Now there are SDG goals which is there, which is specifically talking about the well-being of the underwater. So 15 goals call for the life on earth. Then 16 peace, justice and strong institutions. ये सारे SDG के जितने भी goals हैं, these goals are important. So all goals which is there with the SDG is important specifically for the mains examination. So make sure you know this. 13 climate actions, life below water. 17 is partnership with the goal, responsible consumption and productions, good health and well-being, and sustainable cities and communication and communities, right? So these are some of the important SDG targets that is there. Now, प्रधानमंत्री मत्स्य संपदा योजना की अगर बात करें कुछ बेसिक्स की, द डिपार्टमेंट ऑफ फिशरीज, द एनिमल हस्बेंड्री एंड डेयरिंग हैज बीन इम्प्लीमेंटिंग द प्रधानमंत्री मत्स्य संपदा योजना. दिस इज बीइंग इम्प्लीमेंटेड इन ऑल स्टेट्स, राइट, इन द पार्ट ऑफ द 2020 to 24. It is designated to address the critical gap addressing the fisheries productions and technology with post-harvest and marketing. So this will be something again very important and relevant in that context only. Now, what is the aim of this particular scheme? First, it called for modernizing and strengthening the value chain, right? Second, it called for enhancing the accessibility and the robust fishery management network, ensuring the social and welfare the farm, the खास करके अगर बात करें फिश फार्मिंग की, उसको प्रमोट करने की कोशिश की जाएगी, and poor harvest, infrastructure and marketing. So this all 4 aims are important. Specifically अगर आपको मेंस में कुछ इंपॉर्टेंट पॉजिटिव साइड्स बताने हैं तो आप इसे हाईलाइट कर सकते हैं. एक्सपैंडिंग नॉन ट्रेडिशनल एरियाज की भी इसमें स्पेसिफिकली फोकस है. नॉन रेजिडेंशियल एरियाज की अगर बात करें, नॉन ट्रेडिशनल एरियाज में लैंडलॉक एरियाज जैसे हरियाणा, राजस्थान है, उनके फार्मर्स को भी बेसिकली इस तरह के जो बेस्ट प्रैक्टिसेस हैं उनके साथ रूबरू कराना, एंड इवन दे हैव टू इंश्योर कि ये कुछ सक्सेसफुल कन्वर्जन कर सकें अपने एरियाज में भी. This particular schemes have been empowering with the women to explore remunerative options, alternative livelihood options, ऑर्नामेंट फिश, पर्ल कल्चर और सीवुड कल्टिवेशंस की तरफ भी आगे बढ़ने का एक मौका दी थी. Now moving ahead, rubber board to increase the area in the northeastern states, something important for general studies paper 2. That is the government policies and intervention for the development of various sectors and issues arising from its design and implementations. Now rubber board की अगर बात करें, jointly with the central government, there have been Automotive Tires Manufacturing Association in implementing the project to expand the area under the rubber board in the northeastern states. So apart from southern state which is there, नॉर्थ ईस्टर्न स्टेट्स में भी इसकी दायरे को बढ़ाई जाएगी. नाउ रबर प्रोडक्शन इन इंडिया की अगर बात करें स्पेसिफिकली किस तरह की प्रोडक्शन है इंडिया में, सो इंडिया इज वन ऑफ द लार्जेस्ट प्रोड्यूसर ऑफ नेचुरल रबर इन द वर्ल्ड. रबर प्रोडक्शन इज प्राइमरली टेकिंग प्लेस इन द स्टेट्स ऑफ केरला, तमिलनाडु, कर्नाटका एज वेल इन सम नदर्न स्टेट्स लाइक आसाम, त्रिपुरा और मेघालय. आई विल शो यू अ मैप दैट विल हेल्प यू अंडरस्टैंड कि कहाँ पे किस तरह की प्रोडक्शन है. So you can see for the northeastern states, Sikkim, Arunachal Pradesh, these are the 9 sister states. Apart from this, West Bengal और त्रिपुरा में भी productions होती हैं. South की अगर बात करें, कर्नाटका prominently is there, Kerala, Tamil Nadu, Puducherry and Goa. So these areas are mostly where rubber productions take place. तो मैप पर आप ध्यान रखें, कई बार आपकी एग्जामिनेशन में भी काफ़ी ज़्यादा relevant है. Policy for the northeastern states to move, expand and further having a non-traditional states की अगर बात करें तो like I'm talking about the northeastern states में सिक्किम and West Bengal has been included. Tire manufacturing में भी इनकी consumptions काफ़ी high है, which is again 1,000 crore in a 5-year projections commencing from 2021. The project were expected to bring the socio-economic benefits such as छत्तीसगढ़ की अगर बात करें, they have been doing for their rubber cultivations. So apart from northeastern states, कुछ interior state, landlocked states like Chhattisgarh has also been doing performing really well. Now moving ahead with the editorial of the day. So this is about the Post Office Bill 2023, something important for General Studies paper 2. That is important aspect of governance, transparency, accountability and e-governance. So this article mostly focus on the Post Office Bill 2023. So I'll be directly jumping into the part of discussion. Post Office एक्ट 2023 की अगर बात करें, ये इंट्रोड्यूस की गई थी राज्यसभा में. स्पेसिफिकली दिस वाज इंट्रोड्यूस्ड इन राज्यसभा टू कंसोलिडेट एंड अमेंड द एग्जिस्टिंग लॉ व्हिच इज देयर विद द इंडियन पोस्टल ऑफिस एक्ट. इंडियन पोस्टल, इफ यू वांट टू राइट यू कैन जस्ट सिंपली यूज IPOF, राइट, इंडियन पोस्टल सर्विसेज एक्ट के 1898. सो दिस वाज अगेन अ colonial law which was there, which was existing in the country. So the bill aimed to modernize and update the legal framework with the functioning of post office better suited for changing landscape and post services in India, right? The bill provides for matter related to functioning of the post office and undertaking the central government known as Indian Post Office. Now if you look post office की अगर evolutions की बात करें, how it has evolved. So India's first post office opened in Calcutta in 1727. उसके बाद first adhesive post office stamp issue हुई थी 1852 में. Then gradually in 18 February 1991, India's and the world first air mail flown was start from Allahabad to Naini, right? Then we have 1.5 lakh post offices in India. Out of this, 10 are there in urban areas, 90 there in rural setting. A post officer as the average server, mostly अगर बात करें 7,753 people with 21.56 square kilometer. These are the average services which is provided by the Indian Post Office. Something very important and relevant information are there. Now key changes की अगर बात करें, exclusive privileges of the central government. The act provide whatever the central government establish, it will have an exclusive privilege. The act provide the issuance of the postal stamp as per the prescribed central government. The bill also states that the post office will have an exclusive privilege and the post office stamps. कुछ और changes जो की गई हैं, that is regarding the services to be prescribed. इस particular new bill में, that is for 2023, post office में कुछ और चीजें include की गई है, like the delivery of postal articles, including letters, postcard, parcels and money orders, right? So this will be specifically specified by the central government. The rule will be applicable as per that, and will provide that the post office will be prescribed, the details will be prescribed by the central government. Power to intercept the shipment, अगर कोई ऐसी shipment हो जो कि suspicious हो, national security के concerns में impact करती हूँ, उस parcel को खोल के देखी जा सकती है. Authorities जो concern है उसे suspicious मानते हुए check कर सकते हैं, verify कर सकते हैं. Now, the way forward, post office 2023, the central government has started addressing the identical uses and the postal codes. The provisions will have a far-reaching impact on the physical address and may be replaced by the digital code using the geospatial coordinates with their specific premises. The new Post Office Bill 2023 ensures that various citizen-centric services will have a legal and strong framework. So this is how the revamped has actually been brought in. अगर बात करें revamp ki, this will also call for the many other changes that will have an overall functioning of the Indian Post Office. Moving ahead with the MCQ questions of the day. Before I proceed, just to tell you the answers of yesterday questions. तो कल के जो सवाल थे उसके करेक्ट ऑप्शन में पहला P with this that is C. Today's MCQ for practice is about International Atomic Energy. It's a specialized agencies of the United Nations to promote non-lethal nuclear and science specialization. It carried out intensive staff work and contradictions between the nuclear and non-nuclear treaty. So you have to check for the correct option और जो भी सही options हैं उसको आप कमेंट करके हमें कमेंट बॉक्स में जरूर बताएं. Second is about One Sun, One World, One Grid initiative. ISA and Government of India and United States are leading this initiative. This is by regional centers. Single grid attempts to integrate supplies with international borders. So you have to check for the correct option. Write that in the comment section down below. Participate करें और ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा questions की practice करें. So this was all about for the daily news and editorial analysis. We have a test series program named Nishchay All India Test Series Program. जहाँ पे 4900 plus questions हैं. Video discussions के साथ demo test and free magazines will be there for your content enrichment. If you instantly want to register or purchase this course, आप ये QR code use कर सकते हैं और either you can refer to our website for further details about the courses. So do check it out. This was all about for this session. If you have any other queries about test series, admissions, programs, our courses, you can reach out to us. We'll be more than happy to assist you. For time being, I'm signing off. Thank you so much for watching.